We are living in a changing world. In 2020, the UK government announced that by 2030, there will be a ban on sales of new petrol and diesel cars. This means that we must all go electric. I decided to speak to an expert, someone that had spent their whole career working in the petroleum business, in order to find out what they thought about this.
Yeah, cameras. My name is Barry Eastham. I was born in Liverpool, went to an inner city school and left with no qualifications at all. However, years later when I was with Burma Castrol, they asked me to go and get some higher qualifications, and they would give me a day off, pay for all the books, and I had to do another 2 nights a week at night school and study at weekends. And after 3 years, I achieved a high national in business studies and a degree in marketing. And when I went, I had to convince them that I was enthusiastic. So having prepared all this, I went for the interview, sat down, and they said good morning, etc. And then they said to me, "When can you start?" And I felt so. I spent all this time preparing, and I'd already got the job.
You were almost disappointed.
Well, quite.
After being made redundant from Burma Castrol in the early 90s, Barry decided to set up his own company, Spot Petroleum Limited. I had to ask, why did he decide to do this, and was it because he felt he had more to give the world?
Without a doubt. I also realised there was a nice niche market for someone to enter the market, because they were divesting their interest, the larger oil companies, in smaller sites. That's to say, sites doing 100 to 200 to 300,000 litres a year. And I thought that was quite an attractive market. So I entered that market with Spot Petroleum Limited. They were asking for 5-year contracts. We were supplying spot prices, but also contracted for 3 years. And for that 3 years, we would give them an image, paint the pumps, paint the canopy, put a pole sign up with our name, Spot, the Spot brand, and also give them, the dealer, an opportunity to put his name in the pole sign, which at the time was unheard of. Well, there were 2 markets. There was the contracted market in the retail petrol business, and there was also what they call the spot market, where every day a spot price was printed, and people could go out and just buy product on that spot market without signing contracts. So the name Spot had an association with the industry. Spot prices, spot petrol, Spot Petroleum.
One burning question I had for Barry was that given he'd spent his whole career working in the petroleum industry, what his opinion on electric cars actually was, and if he liked or disliked the idea of them.
I think, first of all, it's not a question of liking or disliking them. We have to do this. The carbon footprint of carbon fuels is quite horrendous, particularly in big cities. And as regards liking them, yeah, I think it's the natural move to reduce the carbon footprint. And my wife says she wants one.
Hearing this made me wonder, with the forthcoming 2030 ban on petrol and diesel cars in the UK, if Barry was setting up his business in 2021, would he invest heavily in the electric fuels market, or would he have continued to just focus on supplying regular diesel and petrol?
That market will actually go on for a while, although they say, the oil companies say 2025, 2030, they want to be out of it. But in actual fact, there'll be a lot of petrol stations who will carry on until the sales disappear completely, because they won't disappear overnight. There'll be a gradual reduction in sales.
Hearing this was all very interesting, but surely the big industry giants such as BP, Shell and Esso are under threat from this move to electric vehicles. I wanted to know how Barry thought these big companies will adapt.
Both BP and Shell have said that they will be carbon free, hopefully by the year 2025 or 2030, and they are quite happy to invest in electric charging points on their sites, and they will develop other items like convenience stores on the site and things associated with the electric car market.
So it looks like a great deal of investment has already gone into the electric fuels market. And with vehicle manufacturers already beginning to add more electric offerings to their range, it looks like we are well on our way to a carbon neutral electric future.